Welcome to English literature class, my dear students of class first year. You know that Act 2, Scene 1 is going on. Here the speech of Antonio, line number 61. It is lecture number 2 of this Act, means Act 2, Scene 1. Act 2, Scene 1, lecture number 2. Antonio says, if but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies? Antonio says, if a pocket of his could speak, if a pocket of his could speak, would it not say that he is telling a lie? Sebastian says, or very falsely pocket up his report. Yes, it would do, or else hide his lie. Gonzalo says, methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Afrique at the marriage of the king's fair daughter, Claribel, to the king of Tunis. Gonzalo says, it seems that our garments appear now as new as when we first put them on in Africa. It seems that our garments appear now as new as when we first put them on in Africa at the marriage of the king's beautiful daughter, King Alonso's beautiful daughter, Claribel to the king of Tunis. It means the daughter's name of King Alonso is Claribel, and Claribel is married to the king of Tunis, which is in Africa. Claribel to the king of Tunis. Sebastian says that was a sweet marriage and we prosper well in our return. Now they are memorizing the scene. They are memorizing what happened in the past. Sebastian says it was a grand wedding and we were doing well on our return journey. We were doing well. Adrian said, Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen. Adrian says, Tunis was never before blessed with such a beautiful queen. Only and only the daughter of Alonso was the most beautiful queen at that time in Tunis. So he says that then Tunis was never before blessed with such a beautiful queen. Gonzalo says, not since widow Dido's time. Gonzalo says, not since the time of Dido of Carthage, who was a widow. She was also very beautiful. You may read the history of Didos and Carthage. It is written here in your book, Dido's time. Students, you are advised to learn the word meaning of the chapters of the scenes, because it is very important and will come in your examination in home and as well as in board examination. So pay your attention here. I try to learn or try to understand the word meaning as well. Here Gonzalo says, no, not since the times of Dido of Carthage, who was a widow. Antonio says, a widow, a plague over that. How came that widow in? Widow Dido? Antonio says, widow. Curse it. How come you mention that widow? Widow Dido. Sebastian says, what if he had said widower? Aeneas too. Good Lord, how you take it? Sebastian says, what if he had mentioned the name of widower Aeneas? Good Lord, how seriously you take it? Don't take it seriously. Adrian says, widow Dido said you make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis. Adrian says, widow Dido, did you say? You make me think. She lived in Carthage, not in Tunis. She was the widow of Carthage, not of Tunis. Gonzalo says, this Tunis, sir, was Carthage. Gonzalo want to rectify. He says, Tunis and Carthage were one. Same. Adrian says, Carthage? Gonzalo, I assure you, Carthage. Antonio, sorry. Antonio says, his word is more than the miraculous harp. Antonio says, his words revive ancient Troy like the magic harp of Apollo. Sebastian says, he hath raised the wall and houses too. Yes, he has raised the wall and the houses too. Antonio says, what impossible matter will he make easy next? What difficult problems will he means Gonzalo, make simple next? Sebastian says, I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple. Here both are making merry and teasing, you can say, teasing Gonzalo here, as they think that Gonzalo is very inferior to them. Sebastian says, I think he will carry this island. This will be very easy when he says what difficult problem he makes simple next. Sebastian's comment on Gonzalo and says, I think he will carry this island, though it is very impossible, student. So he thinks, I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it to his son as if he were giving him an apple, like apple. Antonio says, and sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands. Antonio says, and are sowing the seeds of it in the sea to make other islands grow from them. All are teasing him. Gonzalo says, hey, what is that you say? Antonio says, why? In good time. Why? You woke up at the right moment. Were you sleeping? Gonzalo says, sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen. Gonzalo says, sir, we were discussing that our clothes seem to be as fresh as they were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now the queen of Tunis. Antonio says, and the rarest that ever came there, and the best queen that ever lived there. Sebastian says, wait, I beseech you, widow Dido, accept, I beg of you, the widow Dido. Accept. Antonio says, oh widow Dido, eh widow Dido. Oh yes, the widow Dido. Gonzalo, is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean in a sort. Gonzalo says, don't you think, sir, that my jacket is as fresh as it was on the first day I put it on? I mean, in a sense, my jacket is as it was then. Antonio says, that sort was well fished for it. Yes, the qualification in the sense had to be carefully made. Gonzalo says, when I wore it at your daughter's marriage. Gonzalo says to Alonso, in this the jacket which I wore it at your daughter's marriage. Alonso says, you cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. You thrust your words into my ears. In fact, your words go against my grain. Go against my grain. Married my daughter there, for coming thence my son is lost, and in my rear she too, who is far from Italy, removed. I wish I had never given my daughter in marriage there, for while returning from the place I have lost my son. I wish I had never given my daughter in marriage there at Tunis, for while returning from the place I have lost my son. And in my raid she too is far from Italy, removed. I lost my daughter too, not only son, daughter too, for she is so far away from Italy that I will never see her again. She is too far from Italy. O thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee? O my son, heir to the kingdoms of Naples, successor to the kingdoms of Naples and Milan, what strange fish has swallowed you? What strange fish has swallowed you? Francisco, the other lord, says, Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge-most stone that met him. Francisco consoles him and says, Sir, he may be living. I saw him fight against the waves and float on them. He struggled in the water and opposed its force and battled against the strong waves. Furthermore, pushing himself with vigorous strokes of his strong arms, he swam toward the shore. He says, his whole head bore the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore, that over his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him, I not doubt he came alive to land. Furthermore, pushing himself with vigorous strokes of his strong arms, he swam toward the shore. Thus he reached the worn-out beach that seemed to stop to help him, that seemed to stoop to help him. I am sure that he reached the sea coast. I am sure that he reached the sea coast at the beach. Alonso says, No, he is gone. No, I think he is gone. He is no more. Sebastian says, Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss that would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African. Sebastian says to his brother Alonso, Sir, you yourself are to blame for this loss. Only you are responsible for the loss. You yourself are to blame for this loss. You should have married your daughter to a European prince, not African prince, but rather you gave her away to an African, where she is far away from your eyes. Thus, now your eyes have some cause to shed tears of grief. Now, your eyes have some cause to shed tears of grief. Alonso says, Prithee, peace. I request you, it is enough. No more of it. Don't say anything. Sebastian says, You were kneeled to an importuned otherwise by all of us and the fair soul herself, weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end over the beam should bow. All of us knelt down then before you and requested you to follow a different course of action. Your daughter herself, divided between unwillingness and desire to obey you. Your daughter herself did not want to marry to African prince, but she was divided between. She was in great dilemma whether he should obey you or disobey you. Your daughter herself divided between unwillingness and desire to obey you, did not know which option to take. She was in dilemma that which option she should take. She should obey her father or she should disobey. She was confused. We have lost your son, I fear forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business, making then we bring men to comfort them, the faults your own. We have lost your son forever. Milan and Naples have more widows made by this enterprise. Due to tempest, so many people drowned in that tempest. Milan and Naples have more widows made by this enterprise, made by this business, than we have men to console them. Then we have men to console them. There is shortage of men. It is entirely your fault. This is entirely your fault. And what Alonso replies, you will study in my next video. Thank you so much, students. Thank you so much.